with England and New Zealand, as well as securing key player Ricky Stuart. But the Australian Rugby League says it's talked to officials from both countries who say they know nothing of any such deal. Raymond Dale with our report.
The Australian Rugby League took some big hits today, stunned that Australia's international opponents had switched camps.
We have reached agreement and consummated our deal with the United Kingdom Rugby League. We've also been able to reach agreement with New Zealand Rugby League.
And the man the establishment had been pinning their hopes on, Canberra and Test half Ricky Stuart, sticking with the Super League after wavering between camps for several days.
Because I think it's the way to go for Ricky Stuart and also, and most importantly, the Canberra Raiders.
But what really must have hurt the ARL most was the defection of Australia's most decorated captain, Mal Meninga, to a job on the Super League's board.
Far from the fact that I'm disloyal, I mean, I've got a passion for this game. I see that I want to be involved with the future of rugby league, and I think the future of rugby league is firmly with the ideas of Super League.
In New York, Rupert Murdoch came close to claiming victory.
A lot of things to sort out yet, but we've signed the 130 best players in Australia, and now we'll have all the British clubs join too.
This evening the ARL seemed to accept that a Super League now was inevitable, but pointing out it would be years before most players who had signed up finished their current contracts.
We're looking at something like 1998 or 1999 before these players will be available to be involved in the Super League. And you know, some of them have got contracts ranging up to 5 years with their respective clubs.
The league has also dropped plans to consider expelling those clubs like Canberra, Cronulla and Canterbury, which were believed to have early ties to the rebels.
It is the determination of the board that these clubs should not be asked to show cause. The Winfield Cup will continue in its current structure.
What's under most doubt now are future Kangaroo tours. News Limited says English clubs have agreed to a summer Super League comp, with the top 4 teams from both England and Australia playing a knockout tournament. Although some English officials say talk of a deal is premature. There are also reports of talks with President Nelson Mandela in South Africa with a view to establishing a Super League there. Raymond Dale for Nightline.
Under pressure to resign.
News Limited heavyweights arrived in Auckland this afternoon amid news that at least 24 players from the Auckland Warriors have signed on with the Rebel League.
As the Australian Rugby League began a crisis meeting at South Sydney Leagues Club, across the Tasman, Super League bosses were about to get a first-hand view of the team rumoured to be the next to defect en masse.
I'm very confident they will be with us, and it's up to them, whether it's tomorrow, next week, to announce it.
Cowley also launched a bitter attack against his counterpart, Ken Arthurson, claiming the split could have been avoided.
And if he'd been calm about it, instead of throwing bombs at Australian Rugby League, we could have done that together.
The Auckland Warriors are yet to publicly state their intentions, but with 24 players reportedly signed to the Rebel competition, it's believed they'll cross over to the Super League early next week. With the ARL desperately trying to shore up support from the clubs at today's Sydney meeting, news of a Warriors breakaway would be a huge blow to the league. Each of the 20 Winfield Cup clubs were invited to today's meeting. Only the Auckland Warriors, the Western Reds, Sydney Bulldogs and Canberra did not attend. The Brisbane Broncos, who have been aligned with Super League from almost the beginning, were here, showing they may hold some hope of a reconciliation between the league and News Limited.
Yeah, very much so. You know, we hope that the game is run by the ARL, and that's the way that we'll be pushing things.
Do you think it's possible at this stage, the way that things have got?
You really got to ask the two parties. That we can't really make an assessment.
It's clear relations between the league and the absent Sydney Bulldogs are still strained.
I think the lateness of the decision on all of this was only made late last night when we called the meeting, and Canterbury said they had other commitments.
After appearing to be an ARL sympathiser, Cronulla star Andrew Eddinghausen will announce his intentions tomorrow morning. With speculation now rife, he will sign on with the Super League. Warren Smith, 10 News.